The only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself that you can't achieve it. This quote gets to the very heart of human potential. It suggests that the most formidable obstacle we ever face isn't a lack of talent, resources, or opportunity. It's the narrative we construct in our own minds, the quiet, persistent voice that lists all the reasons why our dream is impossible. We all have that voice. It's the storyteller of our doubts. And I want to share the story of a woman who was surrounded by every reason to believe that voice, but who chose, day after day, to write a different story for herself. Let's go back to the mid-1990s in Edinburgh, Scotland. Picture a young single mother. She's jobless, living on state benefits, and struggling to make ends meet in a small, cold flat. She's battling depression, feeling, in her own words, like the biggest failure she knew. By every external measure, her situation was bleak. The story she could have told herself was one of defeat. A story of, I can't. This woman was J.K. Rowling. And while the world saw a failure, she was secretly carrying a universe inside her. During this incredibly difficult period, she was writing a story about a boy wizard. She wrote in cafes, trying to make a single cup of coffee last for hours, with her baby daughter sleeping in a pram beside her. Imagine the narrative of impossibility she had to fight every single day. The story that said, "You're a single parent with no money. Who do you think you are to write a novel?" The story that said, "No one will ever be interested in this." And for a while, the world seemed to agree. When she finally finished the manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, she sent it to literary agents. The rejections started rolling in, one after another. 12 publishers rejected her story. 12 times the world told her no. 12 times the story of failure was handed to her on a silver platter. It would have been the easiest thing in the world for her to finally believe it, to put the manuscript in a drawer and accept that her dream was impossible. But she refused. She refused to let their story become her own. She believed in the boy wizard, and more importantly, she chose to believe in herself. She held on to the one yes she needed, her own. Finally, a small publishing house in London, Bloomsbury, gave her a chance. The editor's 8-year-old daughter read the first chapter and demanded to see the rest. A child saw the magic that the experts had missed. That one yes was all it took to change everything. We all know what happened next. Harry Potter became more than a book. It became a global phenomenon that inspired a generation to read and redefined the publishing industry. The woman who was once the biggest failure she knew became one of the most successful and beloved authors in human history. J.K. Rowling's journey is the ultimate proof that our circumstances do not write our destiny. The stories we tell ourselves do. She could have told herself a story of rejection and poverty. Instead, she told herself a story of a boy wizard who could overcome darkness, and in doing so, she wrote her own story of triumph. So, I ask you, what is the story you are telling yourself? Is it holding you back, or is it setting you free? Because the only thing standing between you and your goal is that story. Change the story, and you will change your life.